2 years ago, I was here in America when a black man won the White House and the Democrats swept to power in Congress. The age of conservatism is over, we said. A new liberal left era has dawned in these United States. We were wrong. The right is already back with a vengeance, and in the shape of a grassroots insurgency called the Tea Party, it's more conservative than ever. Furious that America's national debt is at a record peacetime high, in uproar over President Obama's healthcare reforms, and fed up with big government and high taxes, the Tea Party is taking to the streets and the ballot box. It claims to have no leader, but it does have its heroes and heroines.
I know that many of us today, we are worried about what we face. Let's stand together, let's stand with honor, let's restore America.
And it's being whipped up by Fox News TV hosts like Glenn Beck.
Who are we? What is it we believe? We must advance or perish.
I've been following American politics for over 30 years, so I've come back to the United States to find out what makes the Tea Party tick, to meet its people, and to discover if it's really going to change American politics. As I start my travels, the campaign for the crucial midterm elections in November for both houses of Congress, the Senate and the House of Representatives, is underway. The Rocky Mountain state of Colorado, once the Wild West, is my favorite state in the Union. In the last 3 elections, the Democrats here have largely swept the board. Even so, this state is attracting more people to the Tea Party than any other in the Union. 1/3 of all registered voters here claim to identify with it. The Tea Party is obsessed with myths about America's past, that it was uniquely established as the land of the free. So we're better for a Tea Party candidate to find votes than at an 18th century pioneer's reenactment.
You breathe that in, that's freedom and beauty in America. Well, I want you to remember old Bald Bob when you get that ballot.
You got it.
Bob McConnell is a veteran action man. He fought in Vietnam and climbed Everest. He's running for office for the first time. With the enthusiastic backing of the Tea Party, he's out to capture the Republican nomination for Congress. The Tea Party's aim is to infiltrate the Republican Party and shift it to the right. It thinks mainstream Republican politicians are as much to blame as Democrats for a federal government which they believe so big, so corrupt, that it threatens their very way of life.
It's the crushing weight of continual intrusion into our lives, and that's what has people incredibly frustrated. And it was frustration, but then you begin to talk about our health care. You begin to talk about this financial reform legislation that does nothing to deal with the true issues. I see no reason to have that degree of federal intrusion into the management of what I consider to be our land. Must have said something wrong.
Oh! The master, the master. Whoa!
Is that your primary opponent?
Yeah.
Is he attacking?
Maybe.
Don't
maybe,
worry.
Yeah.
Hey, bring it on. Tea Party stands for Taxed Enough Already, and a nod to the Boston Tea Party, the tax revolt against an imperial government in London that sparked the American Revolution. For people like Bob, their target is imperial government in Washington. This isn't happening in a vacuum. Colorado's coal and mining industries have tanked, house prices have crashed, jobs are scarce. Hard times are fueling the Tea Party insurgency. Andrew and Liz are regular Americans. They used to believe in the American dream. They ran a small property business, but it went bust in the financial crash of 2008. To make ends meet, he's driving a truck 18 hours a day. They feel they're suffering through no fault of their own, and that big government is only making it worse, so they've joined the Tea Party.
There's going to be way more demands from our government as far as financial resources than we, the private sector, can come up with. Even if you taxed our labor at 100%, if you took everything we earn, you still can't cover the bills.
Liz is out of work, so she has time to run her own Tea Party group.
We've got 21 days that tea parties can happen.
Times may be tough for Liz, but she doesn't look to the government for help.
We believe in the work ethic. We believe in earning what we get. We don't want handouts. I don't want it. Even if I were on the street today, if my husband and I were on the street today, I would not go to the government for a handout. I would not go and say, look, I'm entitled. I'm entitled. You owe me. Nobody owes me. Nobody owes anybody.
We're trying to point out that we can't carry, 50% of the population cannot carry the load for the other 50%. It's not going to work. It's not going to last.
Let's go.
Liz is a political novice, but today she's putting on her first ever Tea Party event. Liz?
Hi.
I'm Andrew.
Andrew, it's
Good
nice
to see you. What upsets you most is you think the federal government is too big.
They are out of constitutional boundaries. They are doing things that they don't have the authority to do. It's reached beyond soft tyranny now. I mean, this is out and out tyranny.
Really? Now you say that, and yet here we are today in Colorado. People look prosperous and happy, and yet you say it's like a tyranny.
Colorado has suffered greatly. People are losing jobs left and right. They're losing their homes left and right. You can't shut down the free market. You can't do everything in your power to discourage the free market, entrepreneurism, and not have this happen. I mean, this is the natural course when socialism starts taking over. They take from us what they don't have the authority to take. It's called progressivism, folks, and it's destroying our representative republic. Progressivism is statism, and they both add up to socialism.
So, first contact with the Tea Party. What to make of them? They're clearly a bunch of decent people. Middle class, middle Americans, ordinary people. They care about the country. They don't like the direction it's going in. And they definitely don't like big government. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's in the mainstream of American political thought, which is built on limited government. They think the government's so big, though, they really think America's on the brink of being a tyranny. That there's already a tyrannical government in Washington, D.C. And I think that's a bit of a stretch. Tyranny is a recurring theme for the Tea Party. Its fundamentalist reading of the Constitution as the Founding Fathers putting strict limits on the federal government and giving most powers to the states. The Tea Party thinks some of the most basic functions of government, health, education, welfare, aren't the job of the federal government. They should be left to the states. The Oath Keepers is a group of ex-servicemen and ex-policemen running a forceful campaign saying they now need to act on their oaths to defend this particular view of the Constitution. Oathkeeper Richard Mack is a former sheriff and a regular speaker on the Tea Party circuit.
Barack Obama is a tyrant. He is a socialist. He is he's anti-American. What do you call somebody who wants to control your air, wants to control your water, wants to control your land, wants to control all farms, wants to control all business, believes all my money belongs to the government? It's not mine, it belongs to them. They can determine how much I have, how much I don't have.
So
what is that? That's tyrants.
Have you been to a country run by a tyrant?
I would, yeah, oh yes, sure. Yeah, I've been to countries run by tyrants, but the thing of it is,
a country run by a tyrant, there's no freedom of speech. Political opponents are rounded up and put in jail without due process. People are frightened to have interviews like this. I mean, if this was a tyranny, you and I wouldn't be sitting here be able to do this interview. We'd both be in jail.
There's nothing free about our country.
You're free to say what you want.
I can say what I want.
If you lived in Hitler's Germany or Stalin's Russia, you would not have been free to say what you want.
But they also believe the same thing Barack Obama believes in. He believes in gun control, as did they. He believes in huge taxation, as did they. Barack Obama believes he owns... Well, let me finish.
Well, but Winston Churchill believed in gun control.
Okay.
Does that make him a Nazi?
He was wrong. I didn't say they were Nazis. I say he was wrong.
Does that make him like Hitler?
Look at history and decide that for yourself.
The idea that President Obama is a socialist, even a communist, and the federal government a tyranny isn't unique to the Wild West. In only 2 years, the Tea Party has become the fastest growing political movement in America, with over 2,000 chapters nationwide, hundreds of thousands of members. So how did it all begin? Some say it was sparked by this surprise rant from a TV reporter against President Obama's mortgage bailout plan.
This is America. How many of you people want to pay for your neighbor's mortgage that has an extra bathroom and can't pay their bills? Raise their hand. How about we all... President Obama, are you listening? We're thinking of having a Chicago Tea Party in July. All you capitalists that want to show up to Lake Michigan, I'm going to start organizing.
But what really got the Tea Party's juices going was the Obama health care reforms.
I don't know how passing health care will play politically, but I know it's right. Teddy Roosevelt knew it was right. Harry Truman knew what it was right. Ted Kennedy knew it was right. And if you believe that it's right, then you've got to help us finish this fight.
Now, plenty of Americans felt these health reforms were long overdue. But for the Tea Party, it was just more big, bad government. And this was the angry reaction to black congressmen supporting Obamacare that led to claims that the Tea Party had a racist tinge. The Democrats were slow to see the Tea Party as a threat.
I'm going to put on my teabagger hat.
But comedians like Bill Maher were hitting back with biting satire.
But the problem with the Tea Party movement, besides their almost universal rejection of dentistry, is that they want money for nothing and chicks for free. They want a deregulated free market and their jobs to stay here in the U.S. They want guaranteed health coverage regardless of pre-existing conditions, but without a big government mandate. They want to call themselves teabaggers and people to keep a straight face. And of course, they want big tax cuts along with deficit reduction. I can't even think of a suitable analogy for that disconnect.
Why now and why the Tea Party? Industrial Ohio, in America's heartlands. It's a long way from rural Colorado. It's a swing state, usually narrowly balanced between Republicans and Democrats. It voted for Obama in 2008. But the Tea Party is making inroads even here. Dayton, Ohio was once a prosperous blue-collar town.